First rule of this channel is we do not talk about this channel. Second rule of this channel, this is not legal advice. So welcome to Sit Start Grift Week 7. There are no bye weeks coming up this year or this week. The weather should be fine in most games, shouldn't make a big difference. Pace of play wise, we're looking at the Rams, the Bills, the Eagles going fast, the Commanders, the Steelers, and the Bears going slow. Also, the Saints might be trending up, and the Cardinals are trending down. Vegas odds this week, Falcons, Buccaneers are implied at 37 combined points. Raiders, Bears are at 37.5. These are both low. Browns, Colts are at 41, which is still on the lower side. Lions, Ravens at 43, okay. Bills, Patriots at 40, low, mostly because the Patriots are bad. Commanders, Giants, Redskins, Giants at 37.5, low. Cardinals, Seahawks at 44.5, okay. Steelers, Rams at 44, okay. Chargers, Chiefs at 48, that's pretty good. Packers, Broncos at 45. Again, this is probably because the Broncos are really bad. Dolphins, Eagles at 51.5. That's very good. And 49ers, Vikings at 44. All right. I got my defensive stats up if you're wondering where I'm pulling from. And tomorrow I might do a stash video before kickoff, in case there's anybody that we should be putting on the bottom of our benches based off of actives, inactives. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is hopefully I'm going to go over all the fantasy relevant guys that I see. If you're in deeper leagues and you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel, I'm sorry. Anyway, Raiders, Bears. I'm going to start off and say, you're rolling Josh Jacobs this game. It's a good matchup. It's two bad defenses against two bad offenses, but whatever, with two backup quarterbacks. Devontae Adams, this is a good week. Hoyer should be the starting quarterback this week. He's a little bit more of a gunslinger, which is good. That means he's just going to throw to Devontae Adams. Jacoby Myers is probably a sit, I would guess, because Jimmy G seemed to like him, and I don't know about the other quarterbacks. Michael Mayer in this game, I would say, is a go. Let's see. Tyson Baguette, if you're sneaky, I think you can roll him out there. Definitely stashable in larger leagues. Deontay Foreman is a go. Roshan is ruled out for week 7, so it should be all Deontay's backfield against a not good Raiders defense. DJ Moore should be a go. Again, not good Raiders defense. Same as Cole Kmet. And both the defenses have some sneaky appeal. All right. Deshaun Watson for the Browns-Colts game is questionable. I don't think it makes that much different for any of the toys, but be aware. I think the biggest thing that would matter in this game if he doesn't play is it probably makes the Colts defense a little bit more attractive to roll out there against PJ Walker. Jerome Ford, I would say, is a go against a Colts front that will be susceptible to the run. Kareem Hunt, trending towards 50-50 right now. I think it would boost Jerome Ford play if Kareem Hunt's out, but I think Jerome Ford's still a play. And if you're hurting because of the bye weeks and Kareem Hunt's available, you could roll him out. There are worse plays at running back. Amari Cooper is a play. Again, this not good Colts defense, so he's a play. Elijah Moore, his usage is a play this week against the Colts. David Njoku's a play. Obviously, quarterback 1 overall, Gardner Minshew against a very, very, very good Cleveland Browns team, the best defense in the business. That's sarcasm. If you're wondering, let's see. If you're wondering about the Colts or the Browns run defense, they've allowed 15 yards before contact. I think the next closest team is like 120. So they're really good against the run. Jonathan Taylor, I would say sit. Zach Moss, I would also say sit. Maybe there's a chance of checkdowns. Maybe they pop one. Maybe they get into design passing plays, but this is not going to be a very good game for the Colts. Michael Pittman, because he's probably your guy at this point. Josh Downs trending towards not a roll because Alec Pierce, the other wide receiver, looks like he's trending towards playing at this point. Andrew Ogletree is a sneaky play if you're into that type of thing because Kyle Granson is out with a concussion. And of course, the Browns are probably one of the more attractive defenses to roll this week. All right, moving on to the Bills-Pats. So Josh Allen, only reason why I would even talk about him in this game is he can be a little bit of a turnover machine, and this is the Pats defense, even though the Pats defense is kind of all backups at this point. Latavius Murray is probably a play in deeper leagues. If you're going to roll one of these running backs, that would be the guy I would roll. I would tend not to look at James Cook because if he doesn't get the red zone usage and he doesn't get the passing work, he's just a guy at this point. Stephon Diggs, this is a week to think about benching him. I don't know how many people are going to have the guts to do it. Patriots tend to take away the number one wide receiver, so that means it's a Gabe Davis week and a Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid week. I wouldn't trust either Dawson Knox or Dalton Kincaid because Kincaid will be active off the concussion protocol. And the Bills defense is one of the best plays this week. The Patriots defense, Josh Allen's always a turnover machine. The bigger news out of this is the Bills' run defense has been bad. So Ramondre and Zeke are things this week. Normally wouldn't want to touch anything that has to do with the Pats offense whatsoever. All right, moving on to the Redskins-Giants. Sam Howell, probably a play this week, maybe not. Who knows? This, again, two teams that are probably going to go slow, grind each other. Sometimes not the best thing in the world. This is a Brian Robinson week. The Giants are the second worst rush defense I have written down in my notes. I am going to roll out Scary Terry because, coming off 52% target share, that's something I would want to be chasing. Probably not a Curtis Samuel week and a Logan Thomas week because of that projected game flow, and that massive target share that Scary Terry had last week. Saquon, obviously you're rolling him if you got him. This is a Slayton and Hyatt week to chase those air yards against a susceptible Redskins secondary. So if you're really needy in that wide receiver 3 type area, that would be a way to go. Darren Waller, again, another guy that I'm rolling out there against, I think I have written down the 6th worst passing defense right now. And of course, both the Giants and the Commanders are good plays against each other because Hal takes a lot of sacks, and it's trending towards right now. I think Tyrod Taylor, the backup quarterback for the Giants. All right. Moving on to the Bucs-Falcons. I have Baker May up. I don't know why, but we'll start off with Desmond Ridder. It is a Desmond Ridder week, a sneaky play against the 7th worst pass defense and the 7th best run defense. So again, if they're going to do anything, they might be throwing the football this week. Again, remember, sometimes stats lie. Bijan, you do you, but again, you're hoping towards the rushing side, not the passing side in this matchup based off stats. That would mean it is a Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Jonnu Smith week. Baker Mayfield, again, this is not the best week to be rolling any of these pieces out against the 4th best passing defense. The Falcons, sneaky good this year. So, if I have Mike Evans, I'm rolling him. I don't want to. Same thing with Chris Godwin. Maybe a sneaky week to roll out Trey Palmer and chase those air yards, though. And again, the Falcons and the Buccaneers defenses are okay plays against each other. Lions and Ravens. I have Noah Goff. He's going up against the 2nd best passing defense. Gibbs has no injury designation. Craig Reynolds is trending towards probably a coin flip, questionable right now. So again, that just raises the bar on Gibbs if you're worried about him. And the last time Montgomery was out, Gibbs took pretty much the whole load. You're rolling out the Sun God and Laporta because reasons. Jamison Williams, again, sneaky play. Their worst dart throws to be going out there against with a really good Lions offense, and you're just trying to catch that lightning in a bottle, chasing those air yards. Jamison Williams, overall snaps were down, but he did hit home on one of his targets last week. So again, worst guys to go chasing. Obviously, you're rolling out Lamar Jackson. Why not? This defense, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews. I'm not touching the backfield. If you're wondering about that, I want no part of this backfield. And the Lions D and the Ravens D, I have. They have some appeal, but there are probably better defenses that I would be rather rolling out there to catch that matchup than these two defenses. Are pretty good, but I don't like good defenses going up against good offenses, so I will tend to avoid that. Steelers, Rams. This is a tough matchup overall to kind of predict. This is a slow offense in the Steelers going up against the fast offense in the Rams. So again, the Steelers are going to try and slow the game down. Rams are going to try and speed it up. I would guess that the Rams are going to dictate the game, which means the Steelers are probably going to be throwing more to keep up from behind, if that makes sense. So Kenny Pickett does have some appeal this game. The Rams do have the I think I have 11th, but I put first worst rushing defense. Steelers are fourth for whatever stats they're worst, and they're eighth against the pass. So again, I would imagine that the Rams might try and run it if they had a running back to run the football with, but they can also try and throw it against the Steelers defense, who hasn't been very good this year. So I wrote in my notes, I would imagine that the Rams running game might be just the short passing game. That's how I could see it working out. So because I could envision that this will be a higher than normal passing volume for the Steelers, I would be rolling out Pickett, as I just cleared this, I guess. Anyway, I have in my notes, I would be rolling out Pickett, George Pickens, and what's his face? Deontay Johnson is back this week for whatever that's worth. Muth is out. I'm rolling Stafford. I think I cleared this. Yeah, it looks like I cleared it. So I'm rolling Stafford this week against the Steelers defense because, again, they're not very good against the pass. They don't have a running defense, and I think they're just going to throw it to Kupp and Puka. If you're wondering, Kyron Williams may be IR'd tomorrow. That's the latest. So I don't know of the running backs who I'd be rolling out there. I've seen reports that Freeman or Henderson will lead the backfield. That's on top of Evans being penciled in as the starter. And I've also seen reports that they like Myles Gaskin. That's why they went out and got him from the Vikings. So, you do you on your best guess and who you'd be stashing. This also means, because of the what's implied that the Rams might do, that Higbee is a cute play at tight end. And I probably wouldn't be rolling out Tutu. There are probably better guys that I would be chasing than what would project to maybe be the number 4 option. And you could roll the Rams defense out against the Steelers. See. Now I'm back on track. All right. So Josh Dobbs is a play. The fifth worst passing defense in the Seattle Seahawks. And he also has that rushing floor. So you could think about that. I'm not going to be touching this Cardinals backfield. I did see that the coach did say he did like Keontae Ingram. I don't know how it's going to shake out. And let's see. The Seahawks are the 4th best against the run this year. So, for whatever that's worth. So since I am expecting Josh Dobbs to be throwing the football, that means that Hollywood Brown and Michael Wilson are good plays this week. Especially if you're wondering about Michael, if this is a Michael Wilson week, it would be. It also would be a Trey McBride week if you're being sneaky cute and rolling him out there, expecting that the flop in usage from Zach Ertz to him is going to stay consistent. I would say no to Geno Smith, and that's partially because I think this is going to be a Kenneth Walker week. Zach Charbonnet is trending towards not playing, and Kenneth Walker did get all the work last week anyway, so I can kind of see that the game will just be out of reach because of that. Now, the other reason why I might not be thinking it's a Geno Smith week is because DK is trending towards not playing. Let's see. Lockett, and if he doesn't go, Lockett would be upgraded to a play, and also JSN would run into that wide receiver 3 range worse lottery tickets to roll out there than him. And if DK doesn't play and you're in deeper leagues and you want to get cute, then this would be a Jake Bobo week. And I'm also going to say yes to the Seahawks defense against the Cardinals. All right, Pack and Broncos. So because it's the Broncos defense, we're rolling out all our pieces. Jordan Love week. All the toys I have written down in my notes. Aaron Jones is questionable. This is where it gets a little interesting. So the Patriots signed Patrick Taylor off the practice squad of the Packers. So what did the Packers do in response? Well, they went and signed James Robinson. So don't be thinking, if you're an A.J. Dillon owner, that if Aaron Jones is out, that we could just be rolling A.J. Dillon. You might have to be paying attention to if James Robinson is active. And you could get sneaky in deeper leagues if Aaron Jones is out and roll James Robinson, because the last time that Aaron Jones was out, that passing work went to Patrick Taylor. So, I'm not going to be playing A.J. Dillon in this game if Aaron Jones is out. I might be trending towards James Robinson in the future. So, but from a toy standpoint, Jordan Love's a go, Christian Watson's a go against this defense, Romeo Dubs. I'm probably not going to roll Jaden Reed out because I think there are better guys to go chase this week than where his usage has been trending down. But I would roll Luke Musgrave and try and get a hold of those air yards if I was chasing anything against this defense. I have a no to Russell Wilson. The Packers are trending towards the 9th best passing defense. Yes to McLaughlin, especially because of the bye weeks and everything that's going on. Some of the advanced stats I've seen on him so far have been good, so I wouldn't even be surprised if he has a uptick in usage, regardless of the game flow. I'm going to say yes to Sutton if I have to roll him, and no to Jerry Jeudy and Marvin Mims. I did read an article where Jerry Jeudy was blaming other people for his poor play, and then Sean Payton came out and said that he didn't even know that Marvin Mims wasn't playing. So, I don't want to be rolling out any of these pieces if I don't have to. And the Packers defense is probably an okay play against the Broncos. All right, who we have next? Oh, Chargers Chiefs, and I just have yes with exclamation mark because I'm rolling out my pieces. So Herbert obviously and Eckler, they're going to be goes. You paid for them in a good matchup. Keenan Allen, the same thing. Wide receiver, I think 3 overall or something like that. Josh Palmer is a roll this week. I'm going to say no to Quentin Johnston after 48% snaps and only 2 targets last week against Dallas. So he's not even sneaky or cute at this point. And I'm also going to say no to the 2 Chargers tight ends because you're trying to guess which one of the 2 is actually going to get work. And at that point, then there are probably better guys to go out and roll, like a Luke Musgrave. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, you paid for him. You're rolling him out. Isaiah Pacheco, again, trending towards RB1 status. I'm rolling him out. Rashee Rice, I would be rolling out in this game. This is the time to go. Justin Watson was ruled out. Obviously, Travis Kelce's a go. And if you're in deeper leagues and you're a little desperate, Sky Moore, if Mecole Hardman is inactive with the Justin Watson injury, those vacated air yards could go someplace. And the Chiefs D is a weekly start at this point, so I would roll them out regardless that they're playing the Chargers, who haven't quite been as good of an offense as we thought they were going to be. All right, Dolphins Eagles, again, yes, we're rolling out all of our toys with the high point total that Vegas has implied. So that means Hurts, even though he's been kind of a turnover machine this year, we don't care from a fantasy perspective. DeAndre Swift, we're rolling him out. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, be advised that we could be disappointed. It may not be our guy's week, but the point total says hey, I got to play him anyway against the Dolphins. So we're rolling Tua out. Mostert is a yes. Jeff Wilson and Sullivan Ahmed. So Jeff Wilson is planned. They are planning to roll him tomorrow. So I would be aware that if he goes, maybe I would not be playing Sullivan Ahmed. I don't know if I'd be playing either one of them. I don't know how the usage is going to shake out. But if Sullivan Ahmed is inactive, then I would definitely be rolling Jeff Wilson. And, on the outside chance that Jeff Wilson isn't active, then, Sullivan Ahmed would be a roll in that low end running back to flex zone. All right. And then obviously Tyreek Hill is a go as I clear him off. Jalen Waddle. And then the other interesting news is Trace Claypool is trending towards playing. I'm not saying you should be sneaky and roll him in your lineup, but if he is active, I would stay ahead of the curve and stash him. Again, I'll talk about some of this tomorrow if I do a video on it. And then finally, we have the Niners and the Vikings, and I would roll Purdy against the Vikings defense. Christian McCaffrey, I don't think he practiced today. The news is he practiced on the side, but again, that's trending towards not playing at this point. Tomorrow will probably be the day that we know if he gets even a limited practice in. Right now, this would kind of go down as a not participate. I would I would lean towards Elijah Mitchell being the lead back in this game. If the game flow projects to be 50-50, I could see him being in the game and getting that receiving work that we kind of like. Jordan Mason, I could also see having some sneaky appeal in that grindery role if the 49ers could jump out ahead. So, yeah, if you're desperate in those RB2 ranges, I would be rolling Mason. If not, I would just stick with the Elijah Mitchell maybe being the safer play. Debo missed another practice on Friday. So, again, if he doesn't get a limited one in tomorrow, probably guess that he's not playing, which would upgrade Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle into that, like, yes, please, I want pieces of that. Those vacated targets are going to have to go someplace, especially if McCaffrey's not in, because I would expect that those vacated targets might go to him. Otherwise, maybe Kittle, maybe Ayuk. Kirk Cousins, yeah, I'm still rolling him out because Kirk Cousins can go carve anybody up on any given week, and there are worse guys to be trying to catch lightning in a bottle than Kirk Cousins. Alexander Madison and Cam Akers, I have nose to. They're not very efficient, and they're going up against the 49ers defense, so you're trying to guess which one is going to get the work this week and if they're going to be good anyway. So I'm going to say no. Jordan Addison, I would still be rolling because he may be the number 1 or number 2 in a higher volume passing offense. Even if it's a bad matchup, just got to roll your good guys. And the same thing with TJ Hawkinson. And, obviously the Niners defense is a weekly start. So those of you that are interested, I will talk about this game real quick. I'm not going to do their own separate video because it was just the Saints and the Jaguars trying to lose the game for each other again. So the Jaguars jumped out, then they got cute, and instead of just grinding the game down and taking what was given, they tried to do other things. Calvin Ridley was taken out of the game, which is fine. That's going to happen sometimes. The coach did come out and say, Doug Peterson did just say that it's up to them to figure out other ways to get the ball to Calvin Ridley. And I would say, like, why? If the team is taking him away, then go other places. That's what they were doing early when they jumped out to like a 24-9 lead. Then they didn't give the ball to Travis Etienne or Etienne anymore. They tried to throw it. I don't know why they tried to do either of these things. The Saints defense is pretty good, but they just weren't. They were doing well when they were taking what was given. They were doing poorly when they weren't doing that. I could tell from the game plan, whatever was going on, that like Trevor Lawrence first read was not to Ridley. It was going other places. And when he was doing that, they were having some success. When they tried to get cute, that's when the drive stalled or, they did some other stupid stuff. From the Saints perspective, they really looked to be struggling until they, played with a higher pace of play that put pressure on the Jags defense. And then again, they could just take what was given to them and they could move the football, and they tied the game up late. What's his face? Foster Moreau, coming off chemo for leukemia, dropped a touchdown pass in the end zone. Kind of feel bad for the guy. And that was Bob's your uncle. That was the end of the ball game. But yeah, and then elite usage for Calvin Kamara again, not necessarily great in the rushing game. Did have a 2-point conversion on a design passing play late. Alvin Kamara, 12 receptions, 91 yards on 14 targets. Taysom Hill is going to be high up on the passing game or the waiver wire this week. Yeah, they're using him designed in the passing game. Michael Thomas is going to be interesting. Chris Olave, I'm just going to go ahead, even though he had 15 targets, I'm just going to go ahead and say sit or no. But we'll talk about that later. Yeah, that's about it. And if I have time tomorrow, then I'll do that weekly start or a stash video. Otherwise, sell the metal.